Back now to that major shift in the Vance Boelter murder case. In 12 hours, he is expected to change his plea to guilty in federal court. Boelter is accused of murdering Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and the attempted murder of Senator Mark Hoffman and his wife Yvette a year ago this Sunday. Gordon Severson looks into what may have motivated Boelter to change his plea. Gordon?
Yeah, this hearing comes just days after we learned that the death penalty was off the table, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. And legal experts I spoke with say that was likely a big factor in this decision. Also, pleading guilty could be Boelter's way of avoiding a very public trial. No one on earth knows for sure what another person is thinking. But when it comes to Vance Boelter and his plea change hearing Thursday morning, legal experts say there are several reasons why a guilty plea makes sense.
With, potentially the evidence, with the publicity, maybe the person wants to accept responsibility, wants to get it over with, has guilt. I mean, you never really know.
Defense attorney Nicole Ketwick says Boelter and his legal team likely spent a significant amount of time discussing their case and the benefits of pleading guilty.
And at the change of plea hearing, that's one thing the judge will absolutely do, is make sure the client or the defendant understands that you could have a trial, and when you enter a guilty plea, you give that up.
People don't change their plea unless there's a good reason to do it.
Former U.S. Attorney Tom Heffelfinger believes the Justice Department's decision to not pursue the death penalty in the case was likely the biggest factor in Boelter's decision.
The defendant here clearly is deciding it's not going to get any better. I better take that plea now.
Heffelfinger says he was surprised to see the Department of Justice move away from the death penalty because he felt they had a good argument with this case.
During my tenure as U.S. Attorney, there's several times when I was prosecuting cases and we did ask for the death penalty. And this case is at least as strong as any of those.
Heffelfinger says pleading guilty is also a common strategy to persuade a judge to issue a lighter sentence. But he doesn't think it will make a significant difference in this case.
He's going to give the judge the opportunity to say, you did cooperate, and so I'm going to give you a break. Now, that break can be a matter of months, but it won't be years.
We did reach out to the Hortman and Hoffman families to hear their reaction to this plea change. We have not heard back from the Hortman family, and the Hoffmans do not want to comment at this time. The hearing is scheduled for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And Julie and Kevin, we did just hear recently that the U.S. Attorney's Office is planning to have a media briefing shortly after that hearing, and we are hoping to hear more details about what went into this plea deal here.
All right, more to come tomorrow. Thank you, Gordon.